Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin in Jamaica. Jamaica on Monday received 14,400 doses of COVID-19 vaccines through the COVAX facility, the first country in the Caribbean to benefit from the mechanism, which has come in for some strong criticism over its inability to meet commitments. A PAHO WHO release said that the arrival marks a historic step towards ensuring the equitable distribution of COVID-19 vaccines worldwide in the largest vaccine procurement and supply operation in history. This delivery is part of the first phase of deliveries for Jamaica, and more vaccines are expected to arrive successively through 2021. According to the first round of COVAX allocations, Jamaica is expected to continue receiving doses through May until it reaches 124,800, the amount specified by COVAX, the release said. I quote, "We are pleased that Jamaica is the first country in the Caribbean to receive vaccines under the COVAX facility. Vaccination has proven an undeniable success in the public health toolkit to reduce the burden of infectious disease, and vaccines under the COVAX facility represent a key part of our response to the global pandemic. The amount received will be used to inoculate our healthcare workers and other frontline workers who have been at the core of our COVID-19 response," end of quote, noted Dr. Christopher Troughton, Minister of Health and Wellness of Jamaica. We now continue with news from Barbados. The shocking image of a 14-year-old girl lying naked on a cement floor in a solitary confinement cell at the government industrial school has so angered a board member that she has vowed to take action against the school and, by extension, government. I quote, "I am sick of it," said Marsha Hines Lane, who sits on the board as deputy chair of the GIS and who is also the president of the National Organization of Women. Investigations revealed that the child, who was sent to the school 2 weeks ago after being charged for wandering, was placed in what is called the suicide cell, as is the practice with new entrants at the institution, a reform school for delinquent boys and girls. When contacted, Minister of Home Affairs Wilfred Abrahams, who said earlier this year that an investigation would be conducted at the school, told the Sunday Sun, I quote, "I am awaiting a report on it that I expect to receive by tomorrow. Because of the nature and implications of the allegations, it is necessary to fully investigate this matter and take appropriate action informed by the findings. I am taking these allegations very seriously and will be open with the findings," end of quote. We now turn our attention to Haiti. Haitian rights activists, a former ambassador to the country, and civil society groups are pressing the U.S. government to drop its support for Haiti's president's plan to hold a referendum and elections at a time of rising violence and kidnapping in the country. Two members of Haitian civil society, a former U.S. ambassador to Haiti, and the leader of a Haitian American non-governmental organization working on immigration issues, testified before American lawmakers Friday, saying no elections can be held because the Haitian Provisional Electoral Council lacks credibility and gang violence is rising. The panel urged officials not to support Haitian President Jovenel Moïse's plan to hold a constitutional referendum in June, followed by legislative and presidential elections in September and November of this year. Some Haitians, including the political opposition and civil society members, view Moïse's electoral council as illegitimate because it was named unilaterally and without input from civil society. Members were not sworn in by the Supreme Court as mandated by the Constitution, and they answer only to the president. Moïse has largely ignored the criticism while expressing support for the electoral council. He also says he is willing to hold discussions with the opposition. And finally, for news out of Venezuela. Venezuela has announced that it will not authorize AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine after several European countries suspended their rollouts of the jab due to possible side effects. I quote, "Venezuela will not authorize the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine in the process of immunizing our population due to complications," end of quote, in vaccinating patients, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez said on public television on Monday. I quote, "Taking into account the technical difficulties, President Nicolas Maduro had decided not to approve and not to license this vaccine in Venezuelan territory," end of quote. Venezuela, which began its coronavirus vaccination campaign in February with Russia's Sputnik V and China's Sinopharm jabs, had reserved between 1.4 and 2.4 million AstraZeneca doses through the COVAX plan created by the World Health Organization for the poorest countries. None of those vaccines, however, has arrived due to Venezuela's debt to the World Health Organization. And that is all for your regional news. Thank you for joining.